Welcome to episode 2 of Arcade Shooter in Unity. So what we have here is some updates and changes that I made from the last video for the arcade shooter, and let's go ahead and show some of those. So we have the core system right here that will handle all of the credits, enemies per the area, the player count, and the current area and the current enemy. So this will basically emulate the same setup as Virtua Cop. So in Virtua Cop, you would basically home in on one enemy, and then once you kill that enemy, you move on to the next enemy, and the camera would pan and zoom per the enemy that is currently being selected, and you would have a specific time to hit that enemy. So that's basically what that is going to emulate. And then we have the player controller that sets the custom cursor, the health, the badges count for the display of health, and then the damage sounds, damage display on the screen, and then shoot strings for the actual input, and hit tags for what we can hit, ammo for the guns, reload sounds, shoot sounds, damage sounds, reload request sounds, dry fire, and then the actual screen effects, which would be the muzzle flash, screen flash damage, blah blah blah, and all of this is auto. So this is just a crude setup for the script. I'll actually make a custom inspector to clean all that up and make that look better. And then the weapon UI will handle weapon images and the switching of the weapon images per the shot and the reloading for the actual animation of the shooting. And then we have some pickups. So this actual pickup right here, which is a box, has multiple options. It can be a health pickup, it could be a weapon pickup, or it can be actual secret item. So if it's a secret item, let's say in Area 51, when you pick up the secret item to become an alien, it'll restart the game, and then you're an alien with alien bullets and alien vision and all that stuff. So that's a secret pickup type that can be used. But what we're going to do is we're going to go health, and then that health amount will add 2 to the current health that you have. If we have a weapon, then we can go machine gun, shotgun, rocket, and then it'll pick up that specific weapon and switch the weapon for the current player, or the player that shot it. Because in this instance, we're going to be creating the same thing as a regular arcade game, where we have one player and we have 2 players, and then the second player comes in based on the input from the second player controller. So the pickup also has an option to break apart, so it can break apart into pieces. If not, then it'll just auto kill and destroy itself over the kill wait time if you use a kill wait time. And then it can have a hit audio for the pickup, notify the player that they actually have picked up something. And then the car itself, I've set it up to have breakable windows, so when I shoot the windows, they can break. So if you're actually playing and inside the car is in motion, you can blast out the window and start hitting the actual enemies. Or if you have cars rolling past you and the enemies are inside the car, then you can shoot those enemies and knock the windows out. So let's go ahead and show some of this stuff.
Reload. Reload.
So you'll see that I have 3 health, and if I actually shoot the pickup, boom, now I have 5 health. The max amount of health that's set per the values in the actual inspector is 5 right now. So since we have 5 as the maximum health, if I pick up this pickup, which adds 2, it'll minimize that and return it down to the 1 with the actual indicator of how many health hits you have, which is 7. So that'll update if you do pickups and if you receive damage.
Reload.
You can see as I shoot the windows, they break, and I can actually add credits per the keyboard, which allows the player to have more credits for the gameplay.
Reload.
So that's the basic settings and setup for all of that stuff. The next stage would be the actual enemy, not that one. The next stage would be the actual enemy, which basically has some settings and stuff set up but has not been finalized, so I will not be able to show it. but it'll basically use a navigation mesh agent so that I can have it move around objects in the scene, and I will also have set it to move to specific points if I want it to move across the scene. Or if the enemy just decides to pop up in front of you on the screen, like in Area 51 where they just pop up and scratch you, we can have that option. It would be melee, and then we would do blood splat or screen splash or screen scratch. Those are just the effects for what damage to incur when the enemy actually uses the damage towards the player. So we could do melee, we could do gun, we could do throw. Throw would be a grenade, the gun would actually be a shot, and then the melee would be a scratch. And then we would use bullet hole for the gun, and we would use blood splat for the melee or the throw. And screen scratch would mostly be for melee. So that's the basic setup, those are the basic ideas. I think my only real issue is figuring out how to do the second player controls. Since the first player is linked to an actual mouse, I might have to switch it to not using the mouse at all and just controlling two different sprites for two different inputs, so this way you can actually have two different players and not one's not linked to the mouse at all. So we'll see how that goes, and yeah, this is update number 2.